homies, welcome back to another Dirtbag review. Real quick, before I get into it, please hit like, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends because sharing is caring. Anyway, so let's get into it real quick. For you guys today, I have an epic space movie. Some might say it's a space opera. You know, it's epic in many senses. It has a hero that's prophesized to save the world and bring balance. It's got a dark side, a dark force, if you will, you know what I mean? But anyway, you know, and it's got a few epic space battles too, you know what I mean? And some might even say a Death Star, all right? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and throw down a little clip of the movie for you guys, and then I'll catch up with you guys on the flip side. That's it. All right, see you there, Holmes. Firme.
What's down there? Down there.
Yeah, come with me.
This is our police patrol. This is not an exercise.
1 minute, all right? Just stay here for 1 minute, I promise. You'll be
This
fine.
is our police patrol.
Don't touch anything.
This is not an exercise. Can you please spread your legs and place your hands in a double circle?
To save your ass so you can save the world.
I think this is a door, but there's no name and no number.
Let's see it.
Sir, are you classified as human?
Negative. I am a meat popsicle.
I found him.
Mr. Corbin Dallas?
Sir, can you put your hands in the yellow circles, please?
Love you!
Wrong answer.
The police patrol is now terminated. Thank you for your cooperation.
Hey, homies. So as you probably guessed, it's The Fifth Element from 1997, directed by Luc Besson, starring Bruce Willis as Corbin Dallas, Mila Jovovich as Lilu, Gary Oldman as Zorg, Ian Holmes as Cornelius, Chris Tucker as Ruby Rod, and the late great Tom Lister Jr. as President Lindbergh. So anyway, this movie takes place in the early 1900s with Vato discovering the truth of some ancient evils and some important goods, you know, and these 5 elements that will come together, you know. But this man's not supposed to know these things, and this ancient order of priests who have been tasked with taking care of this secret and this spot in general is trying to basically get this guy to stop, you know. But the whole while this priest is trying to stop this dude, the alien guardians of this ancient truth have shown up to basically take these 4 stones that are important for this prophecy to deter an ancient evil force from coming and destroying the earth and ultimately the universe. Show up and grab up these stones, and they tell the priest, "We shall return to fulfill this prophecy for you guys, you know. Just keep faith and keep passing on your knowledge and let the people of the future know, you know, in your order that we will be back, you know, when the time is right." So anyway, fast forward to the future, and we catch up with our buddy Corbin Dallas, who is a former military special forces guy, you know, and he's kind of like, you know, living in his pad with his cat. He's a cab driver now, you know, kind of down on his luck, you know, his old lady left him, you know, kind of embittered, you know what I mean? But anyway, you discover him as his character, you know, you find out he's Corbin Dallas, you know, and just get to really know him, you know. And then you cut to the priest talking to the president and stuff and telling him, hey, look, there's this thing in space, it's coming to us, it's going to destroy the world, you know. And they're like, oh, well, we'll just fight it off. But they can't fight it off. It destroys everything, you know. It's unstoppable except for by the 5th element, you know. So the aliens are coming back to Earth, space, you know. And by this time, you know, like it's become kind of a galactic, you know, intergalactic species we've known of aliens. We interact with them on a general basis, you know. So they know these aliens in general, you know, and they're like, hey, well, these guys want to come into our space, just let them, all right? So as they're cruising in to come deliver these stones, they get wiped out by a race of another race of aliens that are what's the word? Mercenaries, you know what I mean? So this crap gets wiped out, but they were able to save one hand from one of these aliens, right? But they couldn't find the stone, so they reanimate this alien, you know, recreate it, and it turns out to be Lilu, and she's like the perfect being, perfect warrior sent to Earth to protect and save the planet and the universe, you know, to protect life. So anyway, so she's in this tube where she's just been reassembled, you know what I mean? And this general sitting there is like, hey, you know, it's like, you're gonna have to talk to us if you want out. And she's like, all right, bro, like, I'm the perfect weapon, I'm perfect, you know, everything. So she breaks out, she bounces, you know, ends up running around the outside of this building, takes a skydive, and plummets right into the back of Homeboy's car, you know what I mean? So now she's hanging out with Dallas Corbin. And, you know, he's sitting there and he's trying to do the right thing because he's like, you know, he's a cabbie, he doesn't want to get in trouble. Cops show up like, hey, you have a passenger in the back of your car you ain't supposed to have. Turn over to us. And he's like, dude, I gotta do what they say, right? But finally, Homeboy grows a heart, takes off, goes on a crazy chase. Hover cars, man. It's a really great scene, you know. It's like, amazingly, this movie for 1997 graphics is really cool. You know, there is some cheesy stuff, don't get me wrong, but definitely just visually stunning is a proper way to describe this movie, homie. So anyway, you know, there's a really cool car chase, you know. You get to see future stuff like McDonald's and stuff. Pretty cool stuff, you know what I mean? But anyway, they get away. Government gets involved. They go and find the priest Cornelius, you know, and he's like, hey, I need a priest. He's carrying this knocked out chick, and the priest is like, weddings are a different floor. He's like, no, I'm not trying to marry her. She's asking for you, you know. So they find out, like, you know, this is the perfect being, you know. So he ends up taking off, go back home. He's hanging out, and, you know, the government comes looking for him because they need him to go infiltrate because he's, like, the best guy they got. And he's got to go infiltrate this Flossen's Paradise, which is a water planet, but there's a floating hotel that looks like a cruise ship over the planet, you know? It's really cool. So they set it up so he wins this contest to go on this place, you know, with Ruby Rod, which is this futuristic radio host guy that everybody's in love with. The guy's super flamboyant. He's got great style, homies. Left print all the way, Holmes. You know how I do. So anyway, so like telling him, hey, you're going to go with this other officer right here. And he's like, no, I'm not going to go. And then Lilu shows up and he's like, oh, snap, you know, because the priest is trying to use Lilu to get to Corbin Dallas. That way they can steal his ticket to go to Flossen's Paradise to get these stones, right? So anyway, this is kind of a long rundown. I'm sorry, guys. There's just a lot going on, and I don't want to give up too much of stuff, so I'm trying to be very, not be super specific about anything, all right? So anyway, they end up going up to this thing. The place is infested with these crazy mercenary aliens, you know. Corbin Dallas is, you know, a badass, certified badass, you know. He's wiping these guys out all crazy, you know. They end up getting the stones from this cool blue alien lady that can sing really cool. She's got some pipes, homie. I think that was Toni Braxton. I can't remember. I probably should have looked it up, you know, but it was a really great performance. It was really interesting, you know. It's very 1997, what can I say? But you know what? I thought it was awesome, you know. So they get back, you know, and there's a little bit of conflict because Lilo has learned the history of the world and how, you know, we haven't always been so righteous to each other, you know. So she's kind of giving up, you know. This whole time, this Death Star planet thing is coming down towards the planet. And they basically save it right at the nick of time, you know. And Lilu and Corbin end up falling in love, you know. So it's a really cool, real epic, very it's pretty long for its time, you know. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes. Definitely worth the watch, homies. I rented it on YouTube for like $3.50, you know, or $3.99. Totally worth it, homies. So you guys should check it out, all right? So anyway, that's my spiel. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you liked this movie. There's a lot of great action, comedy. You know, any movie really with Bruce Willis in it is going to be pretty all right, homies. I think you're going to like it, right? So anyway, I los guacho. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends because sharing is caring. Please leave me a comment down below because it helps me in the algorithm. All right, I los guacho. Firme, Holmes.